So, although I said that the next fight for Yuri Prohaska should be Khalil Roundtree, and I still stand by that. Um, there's also another person that I completely forgot about that would definitely make a great case for rightfully being the next fight for Yuri Prohaska before fighting Alex Pereira, and that fight is against a man by the name of Jan Blachowicz. Uh, you know, Jan has been not kind of, Jan has been off the fucking grid for quite a while. He did mention maybe like a month ago about some sort of comeback he wanted to make, but uh, you know, looking at everything from a large scale, he's been gone for a while. After that controversial loss to Alex Pereira, he basically dipped. Not the best thing. Not the best thing to do if you're a UFC fighter or an MMA fighter or an entertainer. If you are trying to build up to some sort of great and better future, it's not the best thing to do. You want to stay in the public eye. You want to stay publicly making moves. You want to keep MMA fans' eyes on you. And I don't know whether it was frustration, anger, sadness, but he dipped after the loss to Alex, which I do understand. It was a tough loss. I think Jan won the fight. Um, they gave it to Alex. It is what it is. You got to come back. He didn't come back. He dipped, but he's back. He's fighting Carlos Ulberg. I made a fight. I made a video about that fight a while back. But I still didn't think about Jan Blachowicz as being next for Jiri. Of course, if he beats Carlos Ulberg. If Carlos Ulberg beats Jan, then Carlos Ulberg should be the next one to fight Jiri. And then Jiri and the winner of Jan versus Ulberg will fight for the next title shot after Magomed and Goliath. I think it makes sense. I still think Khalil Roundtree should be somewhere in that equation. Some people may disagree. They think Khalil Roundtree is too low in the rankings. But you can't fucking blame me. Dana decided to pull him up and give him a shot. They did the same shit with Steve Erceg. Now Steve Erceg is fighting names at flyweight. Same shit Khalil Roundtree should now be doing because he was pulled up to fight the champ. So now he should be in that mix at least until he takes another L. Then he can be back, to the mid to low. But he was fighting names. But I'm talking about fighting the the top names. Not like a Anthony Smith, somebody a bit higher. But still, all I'm saying is Khalil should maybe get one more shot at a top name, and then he's back to where he is because that's what they fucking did for Steve Erceg. So still going back to my main point. The winner of Jan Blachowicz versus Carlos Ulberg should be the next one to fight Jiri. Did I give it to? I forget who I chose to win in Jan versus Ulberg. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to assume that Jan wins. And if Jan wins, how does a fight between Jan Blachowicz and Jiri Prohaska pan out? Of course, it's a fun fight. Both of these guys are entertaining fighters. Jan is very heavy-handed. He's got a lot of power. Not bad ground game as well. His chin is very much there. Jiri likes to drop his hands. His head movement has improved drastically, and his ground game is also there. So I think this fight is likely going to mostly be on the feet. Jan's got a chin, so I don't think Jiri will likely knock him out. But I think Jiri has good enough head movement, and he's fast enough where I think he'll be able to land more than Jan. He's just got to watch out for the power of Jan, especially when he drops his hands. But I don't know. The head movement has just made such a drastic improvement in Jiri Prohaska that I'm gonna go with Jiri for this fight if they do fight, and if Jan Blachowicz is able to beat Carlos Ulberg and fight Jiri, if that fight actually happens, I'm gonna go with Jiri. I'm gonna go with Jiri just because of the head movement, the speed. Of course, there's always the chance that Jan can connect on Jiri and knock him out. Because if Jan does successfully connect on Jiri, that will likely happen because Jan has power. Um, I just think it's the head movement. It's just the improvements he's made with the head movement. And before Yuri's fight with Jamal, I would have said Jan would win. But it's just the improvements. It's just the improvements. Jamal Hill looked like god awful in there, and it wasn't because of anything he didn't bring. It was more so what Jiri brought, which was that head movement. You know, Jiri Prohaska's constant movement in the octagon just kept Jamal Hill guessing, second guessing himself, swinging and missing, fighting the air, whatever you want to call it. Jamal Hill was fucked up in there, and it was just insane. Just been getting these insane outcomes to fights this year already, man. Peyton Talbot, Israel Adesanya, now Jamal. Like a lot of these guys, I kind of kept in high regard, especially with their striking. Just get fucking destroyed. I don't know how else to put it. But yeah, the next fight for Jiri should be the winner of Jan versus Alberg. If it's Jan, I'm gonna give it to Jiri. If it's Alberg, I'll also include the Alberg factor in this video. If it's Alberg, I'm gonna give it to Alberg. I'm gonna give it to Alberg because Alberg's really great with counter striking as well. And while Yuri's head movement is really good, I don't know, that counter striking it makes me think about Alberg being able to to find Yuri's head, especially if Yuri's the one throwing something first. With Jan Blachowicz, I don't really like Jan Blachowicz' counter striking as much as I like Carlos Ulberg's. So if Carlos Ulberg wins his fight against Jan and he moves on to fight Jiri, I'm gonna go with Ulberg. And that should be a very exciting thing for Ulberg because it's a fresh face to the top names in light heavyweight. So yeah, only time will tell. We really have to ideally wait on the winner of Jan versus Ulberg, and I think that the winner of that fight should get the next fight with Jiri because Jiri has his eyes set on fighting Pereira, but I think Jiri needs one more fight or a win in one more fight to fight Pereira, and it's just given how Jiri did in his first two fights against Pereira, which were both early knockouts. So Jiri needs to really thoroughly prove himself before he can get a third shot at Alex in what shouldn't be called a trilogy because Jiri is 0-2. So for Jiri to get a third shot after getting knocked out the first two times, he's going to need another win before getting the chance to do that. But overall, because I'm going on too many tangents, overall, you let me know what you think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. But most importantly, subscribe. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next.